Good afternoon, class, and welcome back. I'm glad that we can meet again once again through the video process. So this is chapter 6.4, solving absolute value equations and inequalities. This probably will be one of the longer videos. I can only go 15 minutes, so I will probably go almost at full distance. So let's get started here. Directions for solving this. To solve absolute value equations, you can use the fact that the expression inside the absolute value symbols can be either positive or negative. So let's take a look at this first. So you guys know that these are absolute value signs, these brackets right here. And there's a variable inside there. And we know the rule. The rule for absolute values, remember, is anything that inside of the absolute values will automatically come out positive in the end. So, for example, we have the absolute value of x equals 8. So what could x equal? Now going back here, it says inside the absolute value symbols could be either positive or negative. So here we could have a absolute value of negative 8, which would equal 8. And we could also have the absolute value of 8, which would equal 8. So you have two values that you can plug into the absolute value into the variable to get that answer out. So now we're going to be talking about it within an equation. So let's take a look at that. So let's say we have absolute value of x minus 2 equals 5. So basically in this section they're saying that we need to find the two values for x that would give me the absolute value of 5. And this is how we solve it. This is how we show our work. Equation number 1, equation number 2. So we have the absolute value of x minus 2. I'm going to take the brackets away. I'm going to set that equal to 5, and that will give me one of the solutions. And I'm going to take the brackets away again, and I'm going to set it equal to negative 5. Okay, the equation. This will give me both of these solutions, and we'll check our work. So I will show you how to do that. So here we just simply add the 2 over, so we get the x equals 7. And we add 2 over, and we get x equals negative 2. Now remember, your solution can be negative, but understand when you plug it into the absolute value, it will come out positive. So let's say we have the absolute value of negative 3 minus 2. We're checking this one right here. Equals 5. Well, we know that negative 3 minus 2 is a negative 5, and the absolute value of negative 5 is 5. So that works out. Over here we know that absolute value of 7 minus 2 equals 5. So the absolute value of 5 equals 5. Okay? So let's work on another one right here. Absolute value of 2x minus 7. End of absolute value minus 5 equals 4. Now the rules for an equation or an inequality is that we will not start making our two equations until we are left with only what's inside the absolute value. So we have this extra term here, so we need to get rid of that first before we can set up our two equations. So what we're going to do first is get rid of it on this side. We're going to add 5. So now we have the absolute value of 2x minus 7 equals 9. So now we have the absolute value by itself, so we can set up our two equations. So 2x minus 7 equals 9, and 2x minus 7 equals negative 9. Okay, so make sure you understand how I got these first. Okay, remember, get the absolute value by itself, and then create two equations, one with a positive solution, and then you'll solve for x, and one with a negative solution, and then you'll solve for x. So let's solve for x on here. Add the 7 over. We got 2x equals 16. X equals 8. Divide by 2 here. Okay, over here, add 7 over. 2x equals negative 9, or I'm sorry, negative 2. Divide by 2, x equals negative 1. So negative 1 and 8 are my answers. Now I plug it back in to check. That should look like a negative 1 to you. It's kind of sloppy. Okay, negative 1. So here we go. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 minus 7 is 9. The absolute value of 9. Oops, I'm sorry. Plugging it back in, I got the absolute value of 9, which is 9. 9 minus 5, which is 4. Plug it back in, negative 1. Here's negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. So negative 2 minus 7, which is negative 9. Which absolute value of negative 9 is 9. 9 minus 5 equals 4. So I checked both mine. They both work out. So let's say we have an inequality now. So what happens on inequality is we're going to do almost the same exact thing. Now, very similar to the ones with the equal sign, we have to make sure that we break that down first. Okay? So that the absolute value is the only thing left over. And this one, the absolute value is all by itself. So we can start our two equations. So we have x minus 4 is less than 3. And then x minus 4 is greater than negative 3. Okay, notice how I flipped the sign and the value of that. So let's get x by itself. X is less than 7. Add 4 over. And x is greater than 1. So what does this mean? This means that x is greater than 1 and x is less than 7. So after you get finished, you're going to write a compound statement right here with your two solutions from your inequality equation. Okay? So then we know that x could equal any number greater than 1 and less than 7. Okay, so here's another example. So again, we're trying to get the absolute values alone first. Okay, we can't move anything around or switch anything until that happens. So we're going to add 3 over. So we get the absolute value of 2x plus 1 is greater than or equal to 9. So now the absolute values are by themselves. So we can write our two equations. Okay, make sure you flip the sign and you add a negative to one of these to the second solution. I shouldn't say any of them. To the second one. So subtract 1. 2x is greater than or equal to 8. Divide by 2. X is greater than or equal to 4. Subtract 1 over. 2x is less than or equal to negative 10. Divide by 2. X is less than or equal to negative 5. Now my compound statement is x is greater than or equal to 4. And now I notice that these two go in opposite directions. Okay, so I'm going to put that word or in there for us. And x is less than or equal to negative 5. So this is an and. So I can make my answer into this compound. Okay, and we know this one is an or. They're going to go in opposite directions. So I can leave it as two separate on an or inequality. Okay. So let's take a look at a couple more examples here. Let's say I have 3x minus 3 plus 4 is greater than or equal to 10. So the absolute value of 3x minus 3 plus 4 is greater than or equal to 10. So absolute value, I need to get that alone first. So I'm going to subtract 4. So the absolute value of 3x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 6. So the absolute value is alone is by itself. So sorry, let me erase that. 3x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 6, and 3x minus 3 is less than or equal to negative 6. So add 3 over. 3x is greater than or equal to 9. Add 3. 3x is less than or equal to negative 3. Divide by 3. X is less than or equal to negative 1. Divide by 3. X is greater than or equal to 3. So x is greater than or equal to 3, or x is less than or equal to negative 1. So we can leave it in this statement right here. Okay, and if you're asked to graph that, you know how to graph that already from the earlier section. Okay. So let's go back to, I'm going to skip another inequality because I think we've done a couple of those. Let's go back to an equal sign. So we're going to make sure we get our absolute values alone. Add 4 to each side. We get 7 minus 4x, and the absolute value equals 18. We can set up two equations now. Okay. Again, the equal signs, they just obviously stay the same. We're just going to get two values out of this. So we're going to minus the 7 over first. Negative 4x equals 11. Minus 7 over. Negative 4x equals. So divide by negative 4. X equals negative 11 over 4. Divide by negative 4. X equals negative or positive 25 over 4. Or we could say 6 1/4. Or negative 2 3/4. These might be a little bit harder, but what I do is I turn these into decimals. Okay, plug them back in for x here. Okay, separately, and double check to make sure that you were given the right solution there, that it works out, and it does work out. So let's talk about some homework. So we can go over these tomorrow in class. Let's just go over number 1 here. Let's go to the absolute value of x minus 4 equals 8. Find out what x could equal. Number 2, let's go with the absolute value of 5x plus 1 plus 3 equals 14. Number 3, x plus 6 is less than 8. And remember, if it's an and or an or, how we should label our answer. And then number 4, 2x plus 5 minus 2 is greater than or equal to 7. Okay? So again, I knew this is a little bit longer one, but go back and review if you have any questions. Okay, it's very important that you go back and kind of look at my examples while you're doing the homework if you have any questions at all. But it's very important that you set up two equations, two inequalities. Okay? Email me if you have any questions. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I'll see you tomorrow in class. Take care.